zone, the homeowner's best friend.
Continuing our conversation on holistic gardening with Janice, Norton, and Greg Peterson of the Urban Farm, I'd run through the three main areas of permaculture ethics, but underneath those, there's many sub-points. Do y'all want to talk through any of those at all?
Sure. I mean, to review them, there's care for the earth, care for the people, and care for the future, or share the surplus. Care for the earth. Basically, this means to be interacting with the earth in a way that's going to be positive to it. You're going to be considering biodiversity and ways to implement it, to encourage it, to develop it. You're going to be trying to use materials that are going to be respectful of the earth, minimize any, if not all, of the negative chemicals that are going to be out there. And as you're gardening, if you are going to be keeping in your concept the ethic of caring for the earth while you're gardening, and caring for not just the garden, but all of the living creatures around it, then what you are developing is care for the earth. And this holistic aspect of not just the vegetable that is coming out of the garden box, but all the living creatures that are going to be connected to it, you are bringing permaculture into your planning.
And Greg, I'm curious, when it says care for all living and non-living things, what would be a non-living thing? Because, the microbes in the soil that you go through on your healthy soil, a cut down piece of wood that you're using as a planter box, would that be the non-living thing?
That could be, absolutely. One of the things that I used to collect rocks when I was a kid, rocks and minerals. And one of the things that happened for me about 15 years ago is it occurred for me that it's not necessarily the most respectful thing for the earth to actually mine that stuff and then collect it. So I stopped collecting. That's just for me. So that's how it reflected in with me.
And then for the care for the people, a lot of this is about, sharing your harvest and encouraging others to do the same. And like you're saying, take looking holistically outside of just your garden, your yard, but your entire neighborhood, and the effects that other gardeners in the neighborhood could have on yours.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've told you this before, but I have grapevines in my backyard. And when I have taken care of my grapevines the proper way, with love and good nutrients and good watering systems and making sure that they're healthy so that there's not a lot of bugs, I end up having gorgeous leaves on my grapevine. And my neighbors down the street they love to make dolmas out of the grapevines. And even though they have grapevines, my grape leaves are bigger and more beautiful than theirs. So the whole neighborhood actually gets to benefit from the multiple leaves that I produce, adding to her collection to be able to make these dolmas. And that has brought the community together. So that's one example of care for the people.
And forgive my ignorance, but she makes what?
Dolmas.
Dolmas?
Dolmas. It is a dish, a European dish, I believe. I'm going to be saying that with complete ignorance.
I was picturing like some kind of flower bouquet. No, this is something going in a meal.
It's a meal. It is and I believe it's not limited to this, but I believe that there is
It's Greek.
It's Greek, and it's got like a beef or maybe a ground beef in it with a bunch of beautiful, yummy spices, and it's wrapped up in these grape leaves and cooked, and it's yummy. It's like the Greek.
You eat the grape leaves.
It's, it's like maybe, and I'm totally throwing this off the cuff here. Please, no disrespect to anybody, but it's like the Greek version of sushi rolls.
Okay.
So, I mean, just yummy, yummy food inside of a vegetable leaf.
Yeah. One of the things that I did a long time ago on my street for the fruit tree program is anybody that lived on 13th Place between Glendale and Ocotillo, those were my 22 neighbors. Over the years, I gave them all fruit trees. Because what I was trying to do back then was to spread this notion of growing fruit all over my street so that there would, hopefully every lot on the street would have a fruit tree or 2 or 10. And they love that. So that's part of the care for the people as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you did all different varieties and all different, ripening seasons. I'm assuming, just knowing the way you think and work. Was a great way and another reason to come out and, communicate and be a community with your neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we are sharing our bounty, when we're sharing our zucchini, I mean, everybody who's got a good garden has a lot of zucchini. When you're sharing the zucchini and you're talking to somebody in the group will have good zucchini recipes. If you're sharing your vegetables, you're sharing your fruits, somebody's going to have a good recipe, and it's going to come back and it's going to go, hey, I tried these apricots with this wonderful brandy. I have the apricot brandy recipe that I do. Yummy. And that's how it ends up working is the community ends up getting connected.
I've got 2 zucchini
Plants?
recipes.
Oh, is that recipes?
Zucchini bread
Yeah.
and compost.
There you go.
Zucchini is excellent in compost.
Well, and chickens and I'm sure goats love them as well.
Yeah. And, I have different neighbors with different nationalities, and I've got some yummy results from the zucchinis.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.